The Chinese used two brush strokes to write the word crisis. One brush stroke stands for danger, the other for opportunity. In a crisis, be aware of the danger, but recognize the opportunity. Forgive your enemies, but never forget their names. The rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. We must find time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable. Conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. Victory has 100 fathers and defeat is an orphan. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Too often we hold fast to the cliches of our forebears. We subject all facts to a prefabricated set of interpretations. We enjoy the comfort of opinion without the discomfort of thought. If a free society cannot help the many who are poor, it cannot save the few who are rich. Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. One person can make a difference, and everyone should try. Do not pray for easy lives. Pray to be stronger men. A man may die, nations may rise and fall, but an idea lives on. Ideas have endurance without death. If we cannot end now our differences, at least we can help make the world safe for diversity. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. Liberty without learning is always in peril, and learning without liberty is always in vain. Let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate. Mankind must put an end to war, or war will put an end to mankind. The time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining. Let us not seek the Republican answer or the Democratic answer, but the right answer. Let us not seek to fix the blame for the past. Let us accept our own responsibility for the future. We cannot negotiate with people who say what's mine is mine, and what's yours is negotiable. If not us, who? If not now, when? A man does what he must, in spite of personal consequences, in spite of obstacles and dangers, and pressures, and that is the basis of all human morality. I'm an idealist without illusions. Those who dare to fail miserably can achieve greatly. Art is the great democrat, calling forth creative genius from every sector of society, disregarding race or religion or wealth or color. I can imagine no more rewarding a career. And any man who may be asked in this century what he did to make his life worthwhile, I think can respond with a good deal of pride and satisfaction: I served in the United States Navy. The ignorance of one voter in a democracy impairs the security of all. For in the final analysis, our most basic common link is that we all inhabit this small planet, we all breathe the same air, we all cherish our children's futures, and we are all mortal. The courage of life is often a less dramatic spectacle than the courage of a final moment, but it is no less a magnificent mixture of triumph and tragedy. A man does what he must, in spite of personal consequences, in spite of obstacles and dangers and pressures, and that is the basis of all morality. We need men who can dream of things that never were. The rising tide lifts all the boats. Those who foolishly sought power by riding the back of the tiger ended up inside. A child miseducated is a child lost. We must never forget that art is not a form of propaganda, it is a form of truth. When power leads man toward arrogance, poetry reminds him of his limitations. When power narrows the area of man's concern, poetry reminds him of the richness and diversity of existence. When power corrupts, poetry cleanses. We are tied to the ocean. And when we go back to the sea, whether it is to sail or to watch, we are going back from whence we came. I look forward to a future in which our country will match its military strength with our moral restraint, its wealth with our wisdom, its power with our purpose. The supreme reality of our time is the vulnerability of our planet. A boy spends his time finding a girl to sleep with. A real man spends his time looking for the one worth waking up to. Not every child has an equal talent, or an equal ability or equal motivation, but they should have the equal right to develop their talent and their ability and their motivation to make something of themselves. There is, in addition to a courage with which men die, a courage by which men must live. The one unchangeable certainty is that nothing is certain or unchangeable. The most powerful single force in the world today is neither communism nor capitalism, neither the H-bomb nor the guided missile. It is man's eternal desire to be free and independent. Once you say you're going to settle for second, that's what happens to you in life, I find. Children are the world's most valuable resource, and its best hope for the future. Immigration policy should be generous, it should be fair, it should be flexible. With such a policy we can turn to the world and to our own past with clean hands and a clear conscience. Let us not seek to fix the blame for the past. Let us accept our own responsibility for the future. There are costs and risks to a program of action, but they are far less than the long-range risks and costs of comfortable inaction.